Hey everyone, this is Ryan Place at Lake Life Realty. So if any of you guys follow us, you'll know that I am the new media specialist here. Um, I started here 30 days ago. Today is my 30th day here. So I just kind of wanted to make this video, kind of an introduction about, who I am, where I came from, and then what it's been like working here 30 days at Lake Life. So kind of a background about me. I originally came from an engineering company um, based in Concord. Their name was McFarland Johnson. And my education, I originally started in architecture. I studied at Norwich University in Vermont. And I changed my junior year. I changed from that. I went from that to graphic design. I went and took my graphic design degree at Manchester Community College, and then I got my job out of college working at McFarland Johnson. So some of the skills I learned there that are kind of relevant here, as well as at MJ, I developed an interest in visualizations and doing what was really important is like drone photography and videography. So that's something that I do a lot here. What was crazy, I didn't know that you needed a specific pilot's license to have to fly drones commercially, which is something that you need here. Some kind of personal information about me. I grew up in Concord, New Hampshire. I was married last year. My wife and I first lived in a house in Pembroke, New Hampshire. We rented a tiny house. That was really fun. And then after that, right before we got married, we actually bought a house just over a year ago in Alton Bay, and we absolutely love it, and it's really fun living in the lake area. It's amazing. It's so beautiful, and I love having access to like the lakes, going swimming during the summers. It's just great. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a quick intro with me, and I guess what I kind of want to do now is go over kind of what it's been like the first 30 days here at Lake Life. What I'm going to be talking about just briefly is just kind of what I've learned that um, the gear that I need on a day-to-day basis. So my main job is I'm the photographer here at Lake Life. So I'm going to be taking all of the photos for the listings that are going to be online. I'm going to be doing all the videos that we're going to be using for the listings, and also a lot of other like cool stuff too is me taking videos of some other unique projects. So we have a lot of videos that we do. Of course, you guys see when Bree interviews, Stevens Landscaping, and we do local businesses that we do videos with. So a lot of that, that's going to be me now behind the scenes. So yeah, I mean, some of the gear I'll go over real quick is I'm just gonna go over it really basic. Obviously, the main thing I really need is a camera. So what I use is a DSLR camera, and actually what I'm filming on right now here, taking this live video, is what's called a mirrorless camera. So I think what I'm probably gonna do is go over in detail in my next videos of each piece of equipment and like how it's useful. But what's also super helpful when taking photos of like properties is different kinds of lenses. So here I have a full frame lens. Sorry, not full frame. That's the camera I'm using. This is a wide angle lens. So this is really good because it has what's called a short focal length. And this is perfect when you want to get like a really wide shot of like those big rooms, or if you're in a tight space and you want to get all the information like in that room, where like a different kind of lens, it would be zoomed in too much and you really wouldn't get a whole lot of information. So another thing that's super helpful when you're taking real estate photography that I've needed every day when I go do my shoots is a tripod. So this is a Manfrotto tripod. There's a bunch of different brand names. The Manfrotto it's a super popular brand. It's a lot of photographers use it, but this is super helpful when you are in situations where if it's dark out, you're gonna need um, something to keep the camera steady when you're using a really long shutter speed. Um, just basically it's when the shutter is open, and sometimes the shutter might be open for a couple seconds when it's really dark out if you're trying to get those nice photos like nice and bright, and also you don't want it to shake, so trying to take all these photos handheld, it doesn't really work. So that's why you also need the tripod. Something that's really helpful too is your audio gear. So we've been getting into using these little guys. So these are wireless receivers. So this thing clips right onto here. You can clip it on anywhere, and then you'll have a portable microphone that can like plug into here too. And then the receiver will be plugged into the camera, and it's so much nicer than trying to get like the audio from like the camera. It's just a lot better quality. It looks way more professional, and yeah, that stuff's cool. And so one thing that's really fun that I get to do is I have my drone. So I'll take that little guy out here. So this is what I'll do for taking like really unique video for the properties, and also just taking like so if like last week we had a listing that I took photos of that had a gorgeous view of Lake Winnipesaukee. So it's really nice to have this drone here. I can fly up and I can take different angles that you wouldn't be able to see on the ground of the view that you're gonna get from some of these listings. This thing is so cool how small it is. Oh, just for reference. This is about how big this drone is, which is fascinating. The battery life on these things is actually pretty good. It's about, you get 25 minutes on each battery on a full charge, which actually that's usually on each listing, that's about enough time to get, 20, 30 photos, and then anywhere from like, 5 to 10 minutes of video. But yeah, these things were awesome. So then this other thing I'm going to show you, I'm just going to show you the box because I don't want to pull it out, is so one thing that we have is this. So this is a giant Matterport camera, and what we use that for is taking 3D scans of all the properties that we're going to, or I'm going to. So what it does is it takes a bunch of different scans. You have probably about, on average, like 20 scans you do in a property, and it meshes them all together and makes a 3D space, and then that 3D space is used for like a virtual tour that you can use online, which is really cool. It's, especially with COVID nowadays, it's so much nicer to have that, like utilize that, and when you don't have the ability to go see a property where you can see basically exactly what you're going to be seeing on a tour, which is awesome. But yeah, that's all, a lot of the gear that I use. Some other things are, extra batteries for the cameras, because some days I'm taking photos of 2 different properties. Always having my phone on me, because I need my phone actually to control my drone. And then I'll take video with my phone. I'll take some quick photos with my phone too, because we'll be posting that on Instagram and Facebook as well. But yeah, that was kind of a quick gist of some of the gear that I use every day. Some of the future videos I'm probably going to talk about the different gear kind of more in depth. So I'll talk about what kind of lenses that I like to use, maybe different focal lengths are good, what ISO to use in camera settings, best camera settings based on what time of day, different techniques that I use too to get like certain shots, because sometimes you're not always going to be able to get the perfect shot with one image. So doing a thing that's called HDR, And just like kind of little tips and tricks if anybody's kind of interested about doing photography on their own. Um, but yeah, I think that was pretty good. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll be back again in 2 weeks. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.